Good evening, YouTube. Good evening, Rumble. Give me just a second. I'm running a tiny bit behind. There we go. That's a lot better. Happy Sunday to everybody. I hope you're doing good. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you're ready for the week ahead. How's everyone doing? Obviously, I'm a little behind the 8 ball. Let's see. Let's get rid of some things here. Hello, Alan C. You say good evening. You're great so far. I'm glad to hear that. All right. Thormurn has finally arrived at his new home of Meriadoc. And so we're going to celebrate by... those boots are purple. Okay, we'll have to live with it. We're celebrating by going to the spring festival. Now, first and foremost, we should check and see. Nope, under emotes, what dances does he have? Dwarf 1-2, Elf 1-2, Hobbit 1-2, Man 1-2. He actually has all the dances, so he doesn't have to do that.
Hello, friend. Could you help me with something?
Yep.
Will you give me a moment of your time, friend?
Yep.
Could I speak with you a moment?
So, happy Sunday, looking good. Well, hello, Drive-By. Happy Sunday to you. We'll go ahead and do that quest first. So, I noticed that I had a comment from somebody. Really enjoying your gameplay Return to Moria. You're playing it yourself. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I've actually been really enjoying that too. Gonna be sorry when it's over because, well, quarter one of 2025 is almost done, which means quarter two and a new game's just right around the corner. In fact, I spent a little teeny bit of time today just getting a feel for the next game, so I know what I'm getting into. But yeah, that Return to Moria, it's not without its flaws. It can definitely use a little tweaking, but I would say for all intents and purposes, it's a ton of fun. It definitely got better once I started figuring out things like, I want to call them milestones, because that's what they're called in LOTRO. I guess they're called mapstones in Return to Moria. Alright, who are we talking to first? Oh, chickens. We're doing the chickens first.
Some tea.
Screw everything else. Let's go find some chickens. Hopefully we are in time, because if not, we gotta wait like a whole hour, I think, before the chickens come up again. So I guess a lot of people from a lot of different servers have converged on Meriadoc, and the other server, which I can't remember the name of, but the non-ORP server. And it has made life pretty interesting. There are definitely a whole ton more people on this server than there have been on Lorelyn. Now, I'm sure there'll be people shouting dead game because, well, they do that with just about every game nowadays. The game's been out 5 minutes, and 5 people have left the game, and all of a sudden it's a dead game. can only imagine their reaction to an 18-year-old game that doesn't have a million players. I am not finding a single chicken in here. It seems to me, though, if your game can boast of being around 18 or more years and still having a player base, you're doing something right. Lord of the Rings Online was released on April 24th, 2007. I'd say it's doing just fine. Yes, and I have been playing that game since 2009. And it's kind of funny. I started playing... Now, there's we'll say I started playing in 2009. But it's funny because I started playing and the game had only been out a little less than 2 years at that point. And people were already saying, dead game. They're going to shut it down any day. There are no more players left. The game's dying. That's one chicken. See if we can find another one. I did. I have, in fact, this, my VIP account also includes a non-VIP side that was part of the beta. I just haven't touched it in ages. So, that's why I say technically I started playing in 2009. Because my main account technically started in 2009. But, yes, I did play in the beta. Hey, again, getting lost. There we go. Now I'm not lost. But yeah, back to my main point, though. Even back then, if people were already saying dead game.
How do you do?
And 15 years out of the after the fact, the game is still going.
Welcome. You've come at a most fortuitous time.
Stay a moment.
And games that people swore up and down were gonna outlast games like LOTRO are gone. Games like Rift, which I don't think exist in any form anymore. Which is kind of sad. I played Rift for a little while, like 6 months or a year. It was a decent game. Hello, TWS Lives. Is it weird that I still have the maze layout committed to memory? No, it is not. It is not weird at all, because if you've done this a few dozen times, you probably can run this maze in your sleep. I actually had the hardest time, so many years. Yeah. I actually had the hardest time learning this maze until my friend Gus took me through it. Because God bless them, the people in my first kin were lovely and they were very helpful. But they would race me through the maze so quickly that I never actually learned it. they changed it at one point. That didn't help either. But, yeah. Gus actually took the time to go through the maze slowly with me until I learned where everything was. And with his help, I was able to pretty much memorize the important points, like where the signposts are. So, as always, thank you, Gus. You are awesome. And I've been playing LOTRO and Valheim and Enshrouded and just games in general with Gus for 10 years now. Still love doing the drunken crawl through the maze. Still trying to beat my 25-second record. Oh my goodness. See, Gus does that one. I've never done that one because, quite frankly, I tried it once and I absolutely sucked. And since I've never really needed it to make my total for the day or to make enough tokens to get anything, I've never bothered with it. But yeah, Gus does it. He's good at it. He's good at a lot of stuff.
Will you give me a moment of your time, friend?
If you make it, you can get a nice keg decoration for the house. I mean, I have no doubt. Let's see, which one of... It doesn't tell me. Which one of these is it? Is it the super fast one? Nope, it's the slow one. Okay. But I already have the... What is it? The Sinister Enley keg. And there's another one, the Moria keg. And I do remember that Enley keg, trying it out for the first time. And getting ported to... I can't remember where, but it was certainly well outside my character's range. It was funny. I was mad at my kin leader for that at first, but after that it was funny. Yeah, I was mad at him. I think that was on a character I had not made it to level 20 with yet. And let's just say I didn't make Undying with that character.
Hello there. Would you do something for me?
Nowadays, I don't care. If I don't make Undying, I give no hex. My field of F's is fallow. Because I've had enough characters get to Undying. And that was before we could get an absolute boat ton of XP just from crafting. Hey, having all 4 teleporting kegs in the house leads to a lot of hilarity. Oh, I can imagine it does. You could have kin house events, seeing who goes to the strangest place. Have 4 people each hit up a keg and see who ends up in the strangest place. I remember introducing a friend to the game and inviting to the kinship and house. What is the first thing he does? He drinks from a keg and ends up on top of Giant's Needle in the Misties. Oh, wow. Oh, well then. What level was that character?
What can I do for you?
Because about the only thing he was gonna... You never traveled so quickly to try to rescue someone. A level 2? Oh my god, he probably didn't even have his milestone yet. Oh dear. Yeah. Was this before or after they implemented the change where if you were like in an area where the mobs were like 20 levels higher than you, they would just start trying to converge on your point from everywhere? Before that? Okay. Because after that, it would have been like, just bend over and kiss your butt goodbye. Your first words to him were, "Don't move." Oh, we've done some hilarious stuff. I mean, once I got really comfortable with the game, I started doing some fun stuff, like taking my level, what was she? Level 18, level 19, something like that. I was one or the other. She was under level 20. I took my minstrel from Bori and rode her horse from Bori all the way to Rivendell.
Would you do something for me?
That was fun. You know, I haven't even bothered to look for the tweens yet. In fact, Gus and I did the chickens. You know, where you become a chicken. He and I did the chickens to Rivendell. And we had no guard. We just, the two of us as chickens.
Megovanen.
It definitely took us 2 tries. Because the first time we got all the way up into... we got across the Brunine, and we were going up into... I can't remember what it's called, but the hills that go up to... oh, goody, I'm lost. Okay. The hills that go up to Rivendell. I did that. It was the last night of closed beta, and everyone was heading that way. The devs and CMs were heading out free gear, and it was a mad dash to Rivendell to fight drakes. It was insane.
Megavonen.
But yeah, we did that. Like I said, we had no guards, no nothing, just the two of us as chickens. The first time we got as far as past the Brunine before we got ganked by something. I can't remember what it was. The second time we went, where is this elf? We were a little more careful with the skills the chicken has.
What can I do for you?
And we managed to make it all the way to Rivendell without dying.
How do you do?
It was so much fun.
Megavonen.
Hello there.
Alright, we need 2 more tweens, and then we're done in here.
A lovely day, isn't it?
1 more. It's kind of funny because Gus likes LOTRO. He just doesn't like the combat in LOTRO. So for him, the combat is just kind of button mashing, not really a whole lot of thought involved. So he's not really a big fan of it.
How do you do?
All right, got it. I'm trying to convince him to give it another shot with one of the fairly new grinding characters and use the landscape difficulties, because I bet if you set the landscape difficulty about 3 or 4 and he had to actually learn
Greetings to you.
like the characters' skill trees and rotations and combos and all that stuff, he probably would have a better time. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. What do you think? Okay, we can remove that. We can remove that. Oh, Thormurn must have never done the in-league stuff. Okay.
Will you give me a moment of your time, friend?
Yes, yes, yes.
Would you do something for me?
All right, I will go talk to Avery Crabapple. Speaking of while we're here, is there anything new this year? Anything I'm actually worried about getting? Cloak of Budding Spring. Okay, maybe for my female characters, that's actually not that bad looking of a cloak. My elven character, especially Medriel, I should probably get that for. Alright. What else? Sleeveless dress. Okay, Thormurn does not look good in a dress in any way, shape, or form. I'm definitely gonna have to get Medriel or one of the other girls out to check that out. So there are dresses. The tunic? It doesn't look horrible on him. Doesn't look great, though. There's a Tome of the Hedgehog and Hare Parade. Summon a cheerful hedgehog pulling his friend the hare in a... What the heck? In a cart. But it requires mithril. We're not spending mithril on that. Oh, no, but you can also buy it with tokens. It would cost 25 festivity tokens. So we would have to do the seasonal instance. But a hedgehog pulling a cart with a hare in it. The actual heck. There's a goat of budding spring. It's probably covered in flowers. A lily pond and fountain of budding spring. We would probably have to get that for Fistula's house at the very least, once we can buy houses. And then there's a couple other housing decorations, and then we go back into the old stuff again. Now, I want to see tunics. Oh, that's pretty basic. Nah. Okay, that one does not look too bad on Thormurn. It's too bad only the vest part dies. I always hated that. Especially when the majority of the outfit ends up being green. LOTRO has a particular love for the color green. And it's usually the split pea variety of the color green. And while I love split pea soup, that doesn't mean I want to wear it. Sightseer's jacket, sightseer's trousers. Now that actually, I should get that for him. I ought to first see if we... Oh, well, that does not go with the boots at all. But we'd have to find some boots that weren't clipping through the pants. Other than that... actually would look pretty decent on him. Alright, quit playing around with the colors. Yeah, there might be a couple of outfits that we could add to his collection if we don't have it all. Oh, and here's the pet I was talking about. There's the hedgehog hooked to the little cart with the bunny riding it. I'm not gonna lie, that cart is really well done. Whoever designed that cart did a great job. That actually looks very three-dimensional and very cute. Alright, alright, I'm actually almost sold on that. Very cute. Now, where the heck were we going? No, we've been distracted by the cute things. We were going first to Bori to talk to Avery Crabapple, I believe. Yep. And then we want to go to Dulan to talk to the elf there. We have things we can do in Dulan. Oh, and apparently I helped somebody out, because Marceline did the Spring Festival last year. And I tried to explain things in a way that people could, keep, you know, be able to remember stuff in the future, and they thanked me for that. And you say, Bella, someone wants to talk to you? If someone wants to talk to me. Who? Who? Where? Miko? No. Miko is doing the dance. Who wants to talk to me? I'm missing something. Am I missing something through the chat? Because I've been told that the chat bot can be very finicky at times and not want to say things. Night Eye of the Veil. That's actually a pretty good name for a yarning. Night Eye. Well, that will depend on what server this is on. This is Meriadoc. It is the European RP server. I have not moved any of my US characters yet. I was debating whether or not to move any of them, since I'm rarely on them. Ah, there's Avery.
Greetings, friend. Will you give me a moment of your time, friend?
You want me to go collect some flowers? Oh, yes, I remember this quest chain. We have to go collect flowers from 3 different areas. We have to collect a flower from outside in Bori. We have to go collect a flower from just outside of Mirkwood. And we have to go collect a flower from just outside of Kellendam. At this point, I'm wondering, can we make him even faster? Never mind then, I don't have any characters there yet. Ah. I know, I love that yet. But yeah, I have some US characters. Like I said, I'm debating whether or not to move them. I have some Landreval characters that are pretty much sitting fallow at the moment. Or I guess not fallow. Fallow is when you leave a field empty. I guess in a state of retirement would be a closer, more appropriate term. I also have some Brandywine characters that are well, they haven't been touched in years and years. Oh, you were going to give me some good... Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know.
How can I be of service?
I should probably try to salvage a couple of my Landreval and Brandywine characters. Go through them and pick out the ones that I really want to keep. And since those are US, it probably would end up on... Was it, Peregrine? I think that's the server. It's Meriadoc and Peregrine are US and are EU and US. I went right past it, didn't I? Yeah, because Meriadoc is the EU RP server. Excuse me. I certainly didn't mean to do that in everybody's ear. Oh, wrong flowers. Okay. Now, before I get myself totally lost again, we're just going to port ourselves to Mirkwood. So yeah, Meriadoc is European RP. So Peregrine is North American RP. And I think the two non-RP servers have elven names or something like that. They got the really fancy names, and the RP servers got the really homey hobbit names. I wonder how many people the servers can these new servers can handle at once. I'm assuming a lot more than the 32-bit servers. And be able to maintain it with less lag. And there's the marigolds. Alright, so we can head back to Bori. Yeah, Thormurn is actually one of the rare characters in my arsenal. If you want to call it an arsenal. He's one of the few male characters I have. I have him. I actually have 2 other dwarves that are technically one of the 2 dwarves is a female. Oh, that's right. We need to bring these to Bori, not to the festival ground. I'm an idiot. They're a married couple. Because, you know, dwarves do that. They do get married. Although some say that they're just popped out of the stone. And that's how dwarves are born. We'll leave that up for debate. You know what's really sad, though? I guess after the 4th age, dwarves kind of disappear from Middle-earth.
What can I do for you?
So we have gotten the flowers.
Something for me?
Now he wants us to deliver the flowers. And we need to get the address for this delivery from Barleyman. I guess it's all but suggested that dwarves eventually died off. I like to think that they just dug themselves so far into the mountain that nobody ever saw them again. And somewhere deep, deep, deep in the mountain, the dwarves are still living and digging and singing and drinking their ale and having a good time. Alright, there's the vase. Which we don't get to see the bouquet, which makes me mad. I want to see a bouquet of flowers. If I've delivered a bouquet of flowers, I should see a bouquet of flowers, darn it. Another hunter. Ooh, a little bit laggy there. We're not supposed to have laggies.
What can I do for you? Could I speak with you a moment?
And then we discovered that we actually brought the bouquet to the wrong door. So now we have to go back and rectify our mistake. Actually, it's Barleyman's mistake. It's all your fault, Barleyman. Idiot? No, never. We left it at the door to the cat house. That's funny. Hello, kitty. Well, while we're here, we might as well pet the cat. There you go. We have pet one cat. We have collected the bouquet, which we shall now deliver to this
What can I do for you?
lovely young lady named Fern Coppersmith. And she would like us to go get the present that she had delivered to him and that got sent to the wrong address. This is like a comedy of errors. And why could these two can't just talk to each other is beyond me. It's like, you're adult. You have words. Use them. Here you go.
Be of service.
Will you give me a moment of your time, friend?
Now, and that next part we're not doing. I'm not spending an hour running around picking flowers. But should you want to run around picking flowers, there is a very good way of doing that. So, if you break it up into about 20-minute stints, spend your first 20 minutes outside of Bori here, outside the west gate. Run around picking flowers. The main flower is going to be, I can't remember, I think it was... Dude, I can't remember. I know marigold is the main flower for the Hobbit End. And I know that, I'm pretty sure the violets are the main flower for the Elf End. That's what, I might be getting that wrong. The chat lag is getting longer. Oh, I'm sorry. That, I don't know if that is Rumble's end or if that is the chat bot that I use. Patch of flowers. See? So, no, I think it's the violets or the Brie flower. Marigolds are the Hobbit flower, and whatever the third one is the flower for Kellendom. But, as I was saying, spend about 20 minutes in each area, give or take. 7 second. Okay, so Drive-By says it's about a 7-second delay between when you send a message and Rumble and when it arrives, which is kind of unacceptable. I will have to see if there's some setting in the chat bot that causes this delay and see if I can't cut down on it. Maybe they've set a delay because people are idiots and like to do stupid spammy things. So, you would pick flowers about 20 minutes outside the back of Brie. Go to Mickle Delving. Spend about 20 minutes outside of Mickle Delving. Pick your flowers. Go to Kellendom. Spend about 20 minutes around Kellendom. Pick your flowers there. And then when your time runs out, then your time runs out. But the reason you do that is, while all three areas have a mix of all three flowers, each area is going to have an overabundance of their main flower. So if you split it up between the three areas, you're going to get an almost, not always perfect, but an almost even mix of the 3 different flowers. And you will use those flowers to buy gift boxes that you can then open and get cosmetics and other little things from the vendor next to Avery Crabapple. But that's how that works. You mean this house that has all the cats? So we have cat, 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 cat. Then we have Wink. We'll pet Wink. Hello, Wink. You're a very pretty kitty. And we have cat, 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 cat. And we have Sylvester and Oliver over here sleeping. So let's pet Sylvester. Hello, Sylvester. And now we're going to pet Oliver. Hello, Oliver. And then over in here, we have Cat and we have Horatio. And we'll pet Horatio. Alright, so we have pet more cat. We have pet all the cats with names. We should get a deed for that. Should get a deed for petting all the named cats in the house. Everybody would be doing it, just for a title. I call it Cat Wrangler. Cat Whisperer. Now that we've done that, now we can go
What can I do for you?
to Kellendom. I do love the names, though. Oliver, Horatio, Wink, and Sylvester. Now, Oliver, Horatio, Oliver and Wink were in Oliver Twist. Wait, no, Wink? Was Wink in Oliver Twist? Or was Wink in A Midsummer's Night Dream? Because Horatio's a Shakespeare character.
Megavannen.
Oliver, I don't think there's a Shakespeare character named Oliver. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I do know that there's Oliver Twist, which is a Dickens character. And I could have sworn Wink was in Oliver Twist. But Wink might be in A Midsummer's Night Dream. And I don't know where Sylvester comes from. I mean, my first thought is Sylvester the cat. From the old cartoons, but I don't know if there's a Sylvester in the old literature. It's been a long time since I've read Oliver Twist, so if he's in there, I wouldn't remember. Oh yeah, we have finished our 10 quests for the daily. I should have stopped by and dropped that off, but I didn't bother. And it looks like Thormurn leveled up. He's at level 66 now. Woohoo! He's moving right along. Whoop, we don't want to go in there. We want to go in here. Hello, 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 hello.
Megavannen.
I love how she gives you a spring festival guide. Like, you haven't already been doing the festival and don't know what the heck you're doing. But here's the shrew stomp, which is already in progress. You see the people working on that. We're not going to bother with that at the moment. Obviously, we can't.
Mind my words, traveler.
So, I need to help collect fibers, twine, and wood.
Might you spare a moment of your time?
And collect flowers for the festival ground. We can do that. And since it's treating Thormurn like this is the first time he's done this, yep, we're going to get all 3. Which means after we're done with this, we're going to get this again as one singular daily.
This is not possible.
Which is actually good. Means we'll get a few extra tokens.
Megovanen.
So we'll go back to Kellendom first and work our way back. You can see we got flax to pick. We've got spring flowers to pick. We need to collect wood, but we're going to Kellendom first to pick up the twine. Because then we can work back from Kellendom and pick everything else up on the way. Yeah, kitties. There were definitely a lot of kitties in that one house. Tons and tons of kitties. Alright, twine. Elf-made twine. Not just any twine. Elf-made twine. And the first time we have to collect a whole bunch of it. Oh, jeez. It fell into the water. God bless America. Surprised they haven't put like a ramp up. So that when people fall into the water here, they can climb out again. You have to go all the way around here to do it. Now, we need to jump into the boat. Alright, so we've got all the twine. How many tokens does Thormurn have at the moment? 16 spring leaves. That is not a bunch. He's got a whole bunch of fall festival tokens, so he could probably convert into leaves if he wants to. Oh. And these are the patches of flowers you would look for that 1 hour. Pick all the flowers you can. Black. And I love that they finally got this bit of flax out from the tree. It used to be like halfway up the tree and nobody could get to it. Now it's in a place where people could actually reach it. Wonder if that... I don't know if that's exactly what flax looks like. I think it looks a little more like what they did in New World. Which, kind of sad at how New World turned out. That could have been a much better game than it turned out to be. Ah, there's some of our cherry wood, which makes fine furniture, by the way. Also is lovely as smoked flavor when you're doing barbecue. But I'd say pecan wood would be even better for smoking barbecue. Missed one. A unique way of spelling mist. But hey, it got the point across. I need one more spring flower and one more wood. Well, there's our spring flower over here. That's a rowan branch. That's not what we're looking for. Oh, I forgot. He has to go way out of the way for the last piece of wood. Where is it? That's blueberries. That is definitely not what we're looking for. Blueberries have nothing to do with wood. Alright, now we have everything. They definitely added a lot more ground clutter here. It used to be kind of barren looking, just really short grass and some trees. Actually looks a little more wild and natural. On one hand, I really appreciate it. It looks nice. On the other hand, sometimes it makes it a little harder to find things you're looking for. Alright, so I'll talk to you.
The shadow must fall.
And then I'll talk to you.
Megovanen. How can I be of service?
Alright, that's all done. I love how they make you get off your horse in here, even though technically you're still outside. I mean, you're still outside. It's pretty, though. When you see it in the daytime, this is a really pretty garden. No lie, if I found a place like this in real life, I would really want to spend a lot of time here. It's very lovely. Okay, so I'm done with your quest.
What can I do for you?
And I have done everything you asked.
Might you spare a moment of your time?
And now, you see, it's become a daily. Collect 4 flat plant fiber, 4 cherry wood branches, 4 twine, and you get 2 spring leaves. And then his is always a daily. I don't feel like doing that daily again. We're up to 23 spring leaves. We are going to go back to Bori, turn in the big daily because we have done well more than our 10 quests that we needed to do. What time of day is it in the game anyway? Hold on. Plugins, load, predict, in-game time. It is midnight in the game. Oh no, it's evening. 6 minutes until midnight. Okay, so it's going to be dark for a little while.
Hello there. How can I be of service?
We are up to 26. We still do not have enough for that goat, which requires another 14. It requires a total of 40 tokens. Really? For serious? And of course, the Tome of the Hedgehog and Hare Parade required the festivities tokens. Any other cosmetic pets I should be aware of? The Perfect Curl Garden Snail, which is Mithril Coin. I don't know if you can buy it any other way. Tome of the White Puppy. Tome of the Wild Spotted Donkey. Tome of the Silly Goose. Tome of the Woodland Rabbit. Tome of the white-headed hawk, Tome of the male spring pheasant, Tome of the female spring pheasant, Tome of the hedgehog, Tome of the moth kite, probably one of the prettier of the kite that you can buy at the festivals, Tome of the floral kite, Tome of the Lord Shrew. Now, this one actually annoyed my friend Gus. The Tome of the Lord Shrew. Because it used to be that the absolute only way you could get that shrew was by doing the shrew stomp. There's one part of the shrew stomp where you got a chance at getting the giant shrew that popped up near the end. And if you were the one person that managed to kick it, then you would get a reward. And in that reward, you had a very small chance of one of the rewards being the Tome of the Lord Shrew. And as a result, that shrew would usually cost a lot of gold on the auction house. Now you can grind yourself up 250 spring leaves and just buy it. So, yeah, that annoyed him a little bit. One of the things he did like about LOTRO was playing the auction house. That was his mini game. Now, since we have talked about the seasonal, we are going to go ahead and do the seasonal, which is bees' big business. And we're helping Grimbjorn. So we'll go ahead and take the daily. We'll go ahead and take the optional. And then we'll go ahead and talk to Grimbjorn. And then next thing we do is talk to the bees to see if they're ready to go. And of course they'll be ready. They'll be just buzzing to leave. So we're just going to go ahead and eat now. And do all the fun stuff we need to do. I think I'll use fire. Alright, I'll follow you. Dang it. I missed them. Alright, I better hurry up and catch up with the bees. Alright, so it says Grimbjorn's bees must complete their task. You stinkers. The little bitty goat managed to bypass all the attacks. so they're here. The bees have pollinated the first glade. Good, because while we're here, I'm going to pick flowers. Oh, no, 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 no. We don't want to do the flag yet. I'm going to pick as many flowers as I can while we're here. And I keep forgetting I cannot turn left or right to look around while I'm doing this. Oh, hello. There we go. Pesky critter. You have stopped the pests from interfering. Out of the bale wasp. I'm sorry, but if I saw that wasp in real life, I'd be like, yeah, no, I'm out of here. I don't care which direction I'm going, it's not going to be here. This area is probably one of the prettiest areas in the game. Alright, I don't think we're going to find any more of those flowers in this immediate vicinity. Alright, keep going. Buzz, buzz. And that bee's going to stay behind. I think we pick up another bee along the way. Oh no, yeah. Alright, where'd the bees go? I lost the bees. Whoop, I went the wrong way. I've lost the beads. Nope, I see them. They're up here. About ready to get attacked. Well, I took care of that. Now I'm the one getting attacked. Alright. Anyone else? Oh, I think that did it. Something dangerous lingers nearby. It can wait until I'm done picking my flowers. Need one more. Alright, so that did it for the flowers we needed to pick. Something dangerous nearby, huh? A rock. A rock is dangerous. Okay. Is that rock looking at you? Encounter complete. You have thwarted the dangerous distraction. I guess it was just a regular rock after all. Yes, you actually fight a rock in this one as a special encounter. Always found that one amusing. A voracious goat. Anything else? Nope, they're moving again. The bees seem pretty sturdy, but I don't know exactly how sturdy they actually are. I've never tested that. Two rare Lothsark lilies. And now we have to defend them. Okay, I'd like to be able to see what I'm doing. Typical dwarf, he's going to stand right in the path of the mobs and soak the damage, right? And the Great Goat. Now, if you were doing this as a duo or in a group, you would actually have attacks coming from 3 sides coming after the flowers. It's quite fun. The bees are ready to return. Well, we have done everything we came to do, so lead the way back. There we go. So, we talked to each of the dogs. Sprout, Bud, Star, and Rose. We put the flowers that we picked into the basket. I think that is everything. We talked to Grimbearn, and he says, thank you. He also teases us and asks if we stopped and smelled every flower, because we took our good sweet time. And now, we have... falls under what? Landscape, I think? No, instances and skirmishes. We have 10 festivity tokens. I believe we needed, what, 30, 35 for that, pet we were eyeballing.
Hello there.
$25. So Thormurn only needs to do that 3 more times, and he'll have enough to get that pet. That's easy. 3 festival runs, that'll also get him plenty of tokens for other things. Oh. Now, would y'all like to continue on with Mr. Thormurn? Because we have some more festival stuff we can do on him. Or would you like to meet the Bjarning and maybe she can do a little bit of festival stuff? Up to you. I will take a drink of water and stretch for a second, and you all may decide amongst yourselves. Well, now, don't be shy. I will give y'all a couple more minutes. In the meantime, I will go check the rebroker hall and see if there's any progress in that direction. I doubt it because there has been no announcement yet. But it doesn't hurt to go look. They might stealth drop the ability to purchase houses. Who knows? I mean, I would if I were them. I wouldn't make an announcement and say, in 3 days, we're going to let y'all buy houses, because it's going to be an absolute shit show. People are just going to be climbing over each other to buy their houses. It's just going to be a disaster. Unless they do something to roll out house purchases. And I don't even know how they can do that. Okay, nope. Still closed. See, there's nobody here. Just their books. Now you could go visit the homesteads all you want. So you could go visit and go, oh, here's what I want. But you just can't buy anything right now. And speaking of visit, why don't we do that? Because we sort of know what we want for Thormurn already. And yes, Thormurn's going to get a house. He wants to get an Erebor house. And it looks like there's like a absolute bang ton of names in here. I don't think it really matters which one I pick, since I can't buy from any of them right now. But I'm going to go with Zarin Adal. That sounds fine to me. We are in the abodes of Erebor. Okay, if he were to leave this area, he would be in a whole boatload of trouble, because this area is so much more higher level than he is. Alright, let's look around. What we got here? Auction house and bank. Stairs and stairs and more stairs. Because dwarves live underground and they love their stairs. And I do love the music. Did I mention that LOTRO loves the color green? The Erebor housing is very, very, very green. Oaken Shield Way. Now, I will not claim to know anything about where anything is. Not in this housing instant. But I want to say this is probably... Let's find out for certain. Oh, okay, so this is probably a deluxe house. Which is definitely not what we're looking for. I mean, it's nice that it's so big. But it's a little too much house for Thormurn. You know what I mean? No, this might... No, this... I don't think this is the Ken house. But like I said, it is way too much house for Thormurn. Thormurn is not looking for a McMansion. And the first thing he's absolutely going to do is change the interior wall colors. Because there's enough green out here. There doesn't need to be all that green inside, too. Okay, so I'm not absolutely certain. I don't think this is the Ken house. It could be a Ken house. But no, it's on the side. I don't think so. Over here is where the giant live action checker / chessboard is for people who enjoy doing that. Get a bunch of people together and you can have a live version of chess. Always thought that was amusing. Never saw anybody use it though. Just kind of sad. If you look way down there, there's a whole pool full of gold coins. You can actually go swimming in it. To Oakenshield Way. So these must be deluxe. I wouldn't mind having a desk-size version of this lamp. That would be so cool. Well, we don't want to fall down to our death. Although I don't know if you would die as much as you would just go very cracked. But I think you actually might die from this height. There's actually an elevator. Are you for serious? Okay, this. Let's see. I will know when I get up here for certain. This is the kinship house. Alright, so the kinship house has its own private gold pool. I was not kidding when I said you can go swimming in the gold. Such a dwarven thing. It also boasts its own private gardens. And it is absolutely massive. There's multiple balconies. Or not balconies, levels. Although there's a balcony. And if we thought he didn't need a deluxe house, he absolutely does not require something as gignormous as the kinship house. But yeah, that's the kinship house right here. Okay, now we're on Ironfoot Road, which will probably have more deluxe houses, I'm guessing. Yeah. So it looks like the top section is maybe dedicated just to the deluxe houses. I could have sworn I saw some stairs. I ran past them. Right there. And these stairs keep going. And going. And going, because they are like the Energizer Bunny. Alright, now we're on lower level. Wormhorde Bridge. See nothing there. Which way? Guess it doesn't matter. If it's like the top, both sides are going to have similar houses. Wormhorde Bridge. That's the name of the road. Wormhorde Bridge. Now this is much more modest. But still pretty big. So the standard houses are like nothing to sneeze at. They are a good size. I mean, it's got multiple rooms. Even got a little stairway going up. Okay, not so little stairway. And we have this nice little upper section, which would make a perfect bedroom. Especially since you have a whole mess of space downstairs for everything else. Yeah, you're definitely not a small place. Nothing to sneeze at. More than respectable size for a dwarf like Thormurn. I believe that house on that side is going to be identical. I guess there's only one way to find out. Outside feels pretty identical. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't even think we got to go upstairs, but we will. I do believe this is the exact same layout. It is. All right. So these are the standard houses. And like I said, they're nothing to sneeze at. They are certainly a good size. Would suggest to me that the next couple of houses are going to be the same. So there should be a total of like 8 standard houses on this level, at least. Maybe 10. Oh, maybe 12. I'm not seeing... Nope, not this one. We're looking for something specific, and since I don't know my way around here very well, we're kind of stuck looking. But while we're stuck looking, here's the giant river of gold. Might as well take a dip. Boy, you know what? You gotta have some muscles to be able to swim through something like this. That's gonna be heavy. But then he is a dwarf. I'm sure he can manage it just fine. Nope. See, if I knew my way around this a little better, this would be a lot easier. But since I don't, I am certain it was not on the upper levels. I mean, we were just up there and it was all big deluxe houses. Unless there's something an in-between tier that I missed, which is very likely. Same. I would get on my go and do this, but knowing my luck, I would horribly navigate off a bridge and have to work my way around again. So we're trusting Thormurn's feet to get us where we're going. Belligerent goats don't bother me because they roast well. Alright, so there's nothing further down, which means I missed a tier up. Don't tell me gotta go all the way back up and look for another set of stairs that goes down. Well, no, let's take the elevator. Okay, so there's the Ken house. Auction, house, and bank. I feel like there is a tier in between. Wait, is that a stair? I could be wrong though. It looks like it's inside the house. Yeah, it's inside the house. Okay. Thormurn's like, this housing is almost as big as Moria. At least it's as big as the 21st hall. Okay, here's the Court of Games. So there's the giant chess / checkerboard I was talking about. And like I said, if you had enough people, you could do a live version of a chess game. Could be a lot of fun. Causeway overlook Lower Causeway. Oh, that what I've been looking for right there? Alright. So here we have Ironfoot Gardens. Hey, we even have a workbench and a supplier over here. So here's Ironfoot Gardens. And past Ironfoot Gardens, we should have another house. And there. Is the most unique house in all of LOTRO, bar none. It's a dwarven house inside what appears to be a giant geode. Or at least a giant cave full of humongous crystals. That gives it the appearance of a giant geode. So you go in it, and for the start, it looks like the standard houses. There's your stairs going up. Your different rooms. And you go over to this room here, and you're like, oh, what the heck? Because it's almost like it was never completed. And instead, there's a partial cave full of crystals. And it even has a little bit of water, like a little stream around the back of it. So it's got that unique feature on the interior. I don't think there's any more unique features like that upstairs. We'll go look. And I would be wrong because, once again, we have another one of these cave-looking rooms upstairs as well. So if I remember right, this one is not super cheap. It's certainly a lot cheaper than a kinship house or a deluxe house, but not by much. But this is the one I'm hoping to try to get Thormurn. Because it just, I don't know. It would just be so much fun to have it. If not, he will just get a regular standard house. And he will make do with that. But I really like the idea of giving him this geode house with the Ironfoot Gardens right outside. Especially since I think these are literally gardens. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, this is superior farmland right here. So it makes absolute sense for him to have this house right here. Because he's literally a step away from being able to come out and do his farming. let me look up the Erebor housing real quick. Alright. So, LOTRO, Erebor housing. So it is called the Geode House. That's funny. I'm sitting there calling it a Geode House. It is literally called the Geode House. It's a stately house. So the address is well, that's Ironfoot Gardens, so 1 Ironfoot Road. It costs 24 writs. Oh my god, it's more expensive than a deluxe house. Holy smoke. It figures it's the only one. It's the only one in each neighborhood. There's only one of those geode houses. So it would cost 24 writs to purchase. It may be out of Thormurn's price range, as much as we want to get it for him. So, writ. Premium housing writ. They cost 250 each. And you can buy a maximum of 10 at a time. So 10 of them would cost 25. He can't even afford 10 of them. He'd have to... Ooh. It's going to be a problem. Yeah, okay. So he's going to have to get a regular old standard house. There is no way he can afford the big fancy house. Oh well. The standard house would cost 300 mithril or 12 writs. Well, it was worth dreaming. For a minute. Thormurn's fine with that. So he needs to go downstairs. He'll just have to buy the regular house that is closest to those gardens. Relatively speaking. Wormhorde Bridge. And the house that would be closest whatever this address is right here. It's not even telling me what it is. So, right. two big rooms. A smaller room. The second smaller room. A little room under the stairs. Upstairs. We have this big loft space for bedroom. Thormurn says it will do. He approves. So, if Thormurn likes it, then we like it. And that is what we will do. It's 3 Wormhard Bridge. So that is the house that we are going to work towards. That specific house, 3 Wormhard Bridge, because that one is the closest one to those farmlands that are outside the geode house. And it's still very green in here. Like, eye-bleedingly green. That's the one thing I kind of do wish they would tone down the green. It's definitely St. Patrick's Day every day of the year down here. It takes them a minute to get up here, but that's fine. Okay. I'm assuming that the gardens are technically not part of the house. If they are, he won't even be able to use them anyway. If they aren't, then he'll be able to use them. Either way, 3 Wormhard is the house we are going to try for. Now, that we have decided upon that, let's head our butts back to Bori. Where it is nice and bright and sunny right now. Holy smoke! Well, it got to be daylight while we were in there. I guess it did take me a while to find that house, didn't it? Alright, so, I did say there was one more festival quest that Thormurn can do. And it starts with this guy here, born aloft in springtime. So we need to go talk to, I was going to say an elf. This is not an elf. I think these people are from Gondor. Yes, they're from Gondor. And they're scholars of herblore. They started off by having us do all their work for them, because they're too busy partaking of the wines and ales of the festival. Bella, thank you for giving me something more entertaining to watch than my umpteenth Ithilien daily herbalism quest run. I have to sign off for now. Take care. Well, you too. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. You have a great night. And happy St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. But yes, we are doing their work for them because they're too busy getting sloshed. Fortunately, this series, if you know what you're doing, does not take that long to do. Alright, so we have picked cattails. Which, fun fact, are very fun to play with. I know, because I played with many of them as a child. Here you go. And he says they're out of wine at their table. Y'all don't need any more wine, but I'll go get it for you. There y'all go. He nods in acknowledgement, but not thanks. Well, screw you too, buddy. Now he wants me to pick purple flowers. Because you still want me to do all your work for you. While you get sloshed. On the wine I just brought you. That you had no intention of thanking me for. Good deal. Purple Annerloth. Okay. So we've picked those. We need to bring them back. Maybe he'll thank me for this batch. Perhaps. No, he wants more spring wine. Dude, I just brought y'all that spring wine not even 5 minutes ago. What'd y'all do? Inhale it? Alright. Y'all need to slow down on the wine. I know it's got about all the alcohol content of a bottle of cough syrup, but still. Okay, so you're annoyed by the elf watching y'all and you want me to go tell him off. I mean, I'm a dwarf, so I guess I can go tell off an elf. And he says that, essentially they're idiots and they have known nothing about herbs. At least one particular flower. They know nothing about Annerloss, and he'd like to correct them on that. And this guy thinks the elf is full of it, and of course we know because our teacher knows everything. And now the elf will school us on why they know nothing about Annerloss. Alright, we'll actually read this. Many are the varieties of flowers that bloom in the undying lands beyond the reach of mortals, never to be seen by man or dwarf or hobbit. Elves know of them by song or story, if not by sight, and that knowledge brings them joy or sorrow in turns. But some flowers came to grow in distant soil. The Interloss was one of these, and it grew in profusion in Numenor across the sea. Tall it was like the man of the land, and as it grew it faced the rising sun in the east, and was crowned with the light of morning. The Interloss were held to be an emblem of the house of Elros. Elros. Seeds of the Interloss were brought to Middle-earth by Elendil. He sent them to be planted wherever the men of the West came to settle. But that means Interloss should bloom in many places, does it not? Every student of history knows the tale of Elendil and his flight from Numenor, and that he brought plants and seedlings of high birth and low with him to Middle-earth. But if he ordered such flowers as the Interloss to be planted wherever his people settled, they should grow still in abundance. That is why my former master believed the Interloss to be its true descendant, and on this I cannot say I disagree. How came Herondel to know of the flower's history? If these tall flowers were truly planted by the men of the West throughout Middle-earth, where are they now? Interloss grows in many places, but I have not seen these flowers you describe in Gondor. Neither have I seen them throughout Ithilien. If you are not a liar, perhaps you are a fool, but I should wish to be neither. How do you claim to come by this knowledge? Not by study, I warrant. No, you are right, Nephilis. I have not come by the knowledge through study, or at least not through the study of old books or an herb master's teachings. My brother Edlithon and I walked the hills and valleys of Middle-earth long ago. We took great joy in our wanderings, and every new sight filled our hearts. Nothing cheered us so much as the Interloss that lined the roads we walked. They grew in the gardens of Minas Anor, far to the south. They grew too in the carts and along the paths of Anuminus, city of the king. But what happened to them? They died. It began when Anarion was slain in Mordor. It continued during the long decline of the Northern Kingdom. And then, one sad day, there were none left. My brother and I did not journey together much after that. We just grew apart. That is the tale. Now you must understand why I feel so strongly that the Interloss be remembered as they were, and not a distant herb master pretends them to be. I am not saying I believe this elf Thormurn, but he has given me some food for thought. So that actually turns out to be somewhat of a sad story. Edlithon and I did not travel as often once the Interloss died out. It was only one sign of the wound Sauron inflicted upon Middle-earth, but it affected we two more personally than many others. I wonder if the Interloss grow still in the Undying Lands. Perhaps when I come there at last, I will find my brother smiling among them, eager to chastise me for delaying so long to see them. It is a happy thought, even if that is all. A nearby hobbit coughs politely, motioning for you to speak with her. I beg your pardon and hope you will excuse me, but I cannot help but overhear the telling of your friend's story. I'm not very good with names, so I do not quite know what flower he was talking about, but it seems to me that it bears some resemblance to the humble sunflower. They grow in the Shire, you know. That hobbit believes that some strain of Anerloss still grow within the bounds of her land. Can it be true? I can hardly believe it, Thormurn. Can it be true that blooms of the Anerloss have come to be preserved within the bounds of the Shire? I do not want my brother Edlithon to depart from Middle-earth without knowing if that be so. The thought that he could leave without knowing fills me with regret, and my remaining years will be a sorrow to think he sailed away believing every trace of the Anerloss had vanished. You have the look of a determined dwarf, Thormurn. Can I ask you to hurry after my brother's company and to bring him word of these sunflowers? I do not ask you to change his mind, merely to let him know that the flowers we loved in our younger days did not disappear as we believed, but can still be found in the world today. That will be enough for me, and for Edlithon, my brother. His party of elves plan to take the customary route of our people through the country of the Green Hills. Go to the Shire and look for them in the wooded hills above the road, and hurry. I said farewell to my brother not far from here, but that was yesterday, and he will have covered much ground since then. Alright, so we need to catch up with him before he leaves. So, we will take a guide to Mickle Delving. Now here's the thing. Their customary route to get to the ships to sail west is through the Shire. So if their customary route is through the Shire, how can they have missed the abundance of sunflowers that are all over the Shire? It makes me wonder.
A lovely day, isn't it?
Alright, so we want... take a swift travel to Hobbiton. Even a slow travel would get us there a little faster. And hop off right there. But yeah, I mean, sunflowers. Alright, so I've only seen a couple sunflowers so far. Maybe they could have missed them. Maybe I am just talking out of my butt. Especially if they're following this road, it does not appear that there are any along it. Bandit. Hello, Bandit. Goodbye, Bandit. Okay, I take that back. It's possible if they take this particular path, they have completely missed seeing a single sunflower. And there they are. Megavonen, friend, what brings you to us with such haste? Stay a moment and rest, for we will move soon on, but for a time I would welcome the conversation. You introduce yourself and convey Herendel's message. My brother thinks a hobbit has seen a bloom of the legendary Anerloss. I find that most difficult to believe. Those flowers began to die at the end of the Second Age, and as Ornork declined, so too did the Anerloss. They have not been seen for hundreds of years. Your hobbit friend is mistaken, and my brother is misguided by hope. You are certain you understood what this hobbit had to say? For love of my brother, I will humor you in this, even if it seems fanciful beyond all reason. There's a hobbit village just beneath us, and I understand it is called Woodhall by those who live there. Go to this village and speak with the hobbits and learn if they possess such flowers as you described. My mind is set, and springtime is the season of my departure, but I have not such haste that I cannot spare a moment to answer this one question of my brother. The journeys we shared in our youth remain dear to me, as does he. Go to Woodhall and put the matter to rest. I cannot delay very long, but I will give some moments to this exercise. It has left my thoughts astir. So despite the fact that he's leaving, he does love his brother dearly, and if his brother wishes to entertain this notion, well, he will entertain it too. And look, Marjoram Woolgather, and there happens to be a hobbit painting. You're looking for sunflowers? Why, I finished painting another of them not yesterday. I leaned it against the wall right over there to dry. Inspect it, and tell me what you think. The painting does bear resemblance to the Anorlos described by Herr... Okay. I do not know what to say, Thormurn. If I did not know any better, I would say the artist painted this not from memory, but from life. This depicts one of the Anorlos just as I remember. How can this be? Did one of my people paint this picture? How came it to be in the village of hobbits? They are longer lived than men, but not so long that any could have seen one of the Anorlos and put paint to paper with such accuracy. The last of that breed died out long ago, and only one of my people could have painted this. A nearby hobbit laughs and curtsies cheerfully. I always heard elves are frightening and strange, but your friend here seems rather amusing instead. I assure you, no elf painted this picture, but I will take that as a compliment of my artistry. Yes, I am the painter, and indeed I have painted a number of the plants and animals I have seen in the woods and fields throughout the Shire. I do not know the word he used to describe this flower, and have never heard of it before. No doubt it is an elvish word of some meaning and great significance. But we hobbits like to give things names that tell you everything you need to know. This painting is of a sunflower, of course. There are many of them growing around the border of a farm field north of Woodhall, if you'd like to see them for yourself, and tell your elf friend that I appreciate his kind words about my painting. So, we need to go find proof of the sunflowers. Alright, we need to leave the village, like by a road. That would be good. And we can come back up and around. Hello, elves. I like her last name, Woolgather. I guess because she's a painter, she spends her time gathering wool. Wool. Yeah, I do that myself too. Although I'm certainly no expert painter. I only dabble. Sunflowers line the field. How can I put this into words, Thormurn? My heart leaps at the sight. I feel as if I have stepped back in time, back to a day not when the Anorlos struggled and failed, but to a day when they flourished. Herondel and I walked together among these flowers in kingdoms north and south, and our eyes lighted on the horizon, and our minds danced upon the future it promised. I am brought back to those happy days, and the sorrows that followed in the wake of Sauron and his wars are forgotten to me. The promise of the sunflowers was as bright as their petals, and so many journeys lay still ahead of us. Following the death of Anarion and the decline of Ornor, the Anorlos died out in the wider world, and yet, somehow, a seedling must have come to this land. I can see it in my mind's eye, Thormurn, born aloft in springtime, carried on the breeze, until it came to rest within this sheltered land. That seed took root, and from it the line prospered, hidden from the outside eyes. The Anorlos survived. Edlithon gazes at the sunflowers in silence. I was prepared to depart. My heart wept to leave my brother, but I knew I would see him again when he too sailed from these shores. But the sight of these flowers has restored in me sensation I have not felt since our travels together, so long ago. How many other wonders might remain in Middle-earth? The wanderlust stirs in me again. I believe I could remain no longer, but now I think my brother and I might find joy in another journey within the bounds of Middle-earth, and then depart for the undying lands together, as once I thought we would. Can I ask you to convey this message to Herondel for me? I will spend some time here in contemplation, and will join him soon. You have my thanks, Thormurn, for reminding me of what I once held dear. And not only that, I am grateful for one more thing. You have given back to me the hope of the unexpected, the unlooked-for wonders that might still remain around the next bend or behind the next tree. You have given me back the promise of sunflowers, and that is something I have missed. And it ends happily, so we will port ourselves back to Bori one last time and go let his brother Herondel know that things have ended well. And now these Gondorians can go take their butts to the Shire and bring home a sunflower or two and, I don't know, tell their teacher, this is what Anorlos actually is. You have returned, Thormurn. Did you find my brother in time? And was there any truth to the rumor that some strain of the Anorlos might remain within the Shire? You tell Herondel about the sunflowers and his brother's decision to remain in Middle-earth for now. He looks at you thoughtfully, and after a moment a smile lightens his features. I am conflicted, my friend. I did not mean to gainsay my brother's choice, for I know when he made it, the decisions were not easy, and he felt it strongly. I would not tell him otherwise, and I did not wish to make him stay. But when you went in search of him, when it seemed that Anorlos might bloom still somewhere in the Shire, I confess I did wonder what I would say if he chose to stay. Could our journeying days come again? Where might we go? I've come up with just the right destination, Thormurn. I will suggest to my brother that we let our wandering feet bring us to the Southlands. There is a so-called Master of Herbs in Minas Tirith that I would propose we visit. He is possessed of a number of misconceptions that Edlithon and I are well prepared to correct. We two elf brothers will depart in springtime, emboldened by the breeze and a spring in our step, on another journey like those we took of old. Thank you for helping my brother and me, Thormurn. Perhaps the sun will smile upon us, and our paths will cross in some distant land. Until then, my friend, farewell. The ending of that one always makes me happy. I saw you leave without taking care of my own problem, Thormurn, and I admit at first I was rather cross with you. Did you forget I asked you to ensure the visiting herbalist did not cause any further disturbance? But shortly after you departed, I noticed something most unusual. They stopped their drinking and their carousing and instead began speaking quietly among themselves. Well, the sparks of my curiosity were set aflame, and I took a casual stroll by their table. They seemed to be questioning the merits of some long-held belief, and the discussion had shaken them into politeness. What a strange turn of events. I do not know what part you played in the argument about flower strains, and neither do I know if they decided this plant called Anorlos and the one called Anorloth are truly one and the same. But I do believe you may have given them something to think about, and while they're thinking, They're done causing disturbances. In conclusion, you have earned these spring leaves after all. Spend them at your leisure and enjoy the festival. So, our reward for doing all that is another 18 spring leaves. And you can do this, well, once a year. So you can only do this once a year.
Hello there.
But with that, let's see. We can get that goat. We have more than enough to get the goat, and still have 16 tokens left over. I was going to say we could get him the last gallon spring pack, but I don't think he's going to be carrying around a pack of flowers on his back. That is not Thormurn's speed. He could get those trousers, but then he would need the jacket, which he doesn't have enough for. He wouldn't have enough for both, but another day of festivaling would take care of that. And I think we will do that. We will get him the goat, and I will work to get him the Sightseer set, which is basically Bingo Boffin's outfit. Alright, let's see what this goat looks like, shall we? Goat of Budding Spring. I'm curious. Wrong one. There we go. And of course, you know we had to get it because it's a goat. Might as well get him another goat, right? Alright, what do we got here? It's... Okay, it's not as flowery as I feared it would be. It's got some, daffodils. I think those are daffodils. They're definitely not tulip. Some potted daffodils on the back. But it also has a keg on it. So it balances that out nicely. The goat's got a flower between its teeth. The goat's also got some very interesting antlers. But I think the funniest part of the goat is look at this hair. Goat looked like it rolled out of the bed and said, okay, this is fine. And went about its day. All right. Well, Thormurn has done a whole lot of festival. He just got himself a goat. He's working towards getting that pet that he needs to do 3 more seasonal instances for. And at least 1 more run through the daily should get him the Bingo Boffin outfit. I think that would call it good for him. However, I think that's where we're going to leave it. So, for everybody that stopped by, thank you so much. I hope maybe seeing the festival run helped. Maybe if you were confused about something, especially with the maze, because to be honest, the maze could be quite confusing. But let me thank everybody that stopped by. Thank you to Alan C. I appreciate you popping in and saying hi. And I'm glad to hear that you are enjoying Return to Moria. Or have enjoyed it. Or are enjoying it. You say playing it, so. Thank you to Dryby for letting me know everything looked good and for stopping in. Always appreciate you. Thank you to TWF's Lives on the Rumble side for stopping in. Appreciate you for being around and enjoyed the conversation. I hope you enjoy LOTRO, and perhaps I shall see you in the world somewhere someday. And for everybody else who popped in and out or stuck around a little while and didn't say anything, well, know that you too are seen and appreciated. But next time, say hi. I promise I don't bite. Now Tuesday, we will... I was going to say we're going to continue with Thormurn, but... well, there's a Bjarning. She might want to come say hi. We'll see. Either way, it will be LOTRO. Friday, we'll see what kind of trouble we can get into Morrowind. Thursday, we will hopefully be doing a little Path of Exile 2. And Saturday, if Drive-By is up for it, we'll be doing some more Law. And if you don't want to miss any of that fun stuff, and you haven't already, well, you know what to do. All that fun clicky stuff. But once again, thank you. I really appreciate you all. Have a great night. Have a wonderful Monday. And until next time, bye for now.